The sect did not sleep that night. Every courtyard whispered the same name. Lucian Vale had become the center of every rumor. Some said the beast had gone mad. Others said Lucian had used a forbidden trick. Garrick Vane did not hide his bitterness. Serena Ash listened, but said nothing. Lucian felt none of their voices as strongly as the call beneath the mountain. At last, he made his choice and went alone. The path back to the trial ground was silent. The crowds were gone. Only old wind moved between the pillars. Lucian crossed the arena, where he had been humiliated only hours before. Now the place felt older than the disciples who used it. He stopped before the sealed trial gate. The call beneath it had only grown stronger. He placed his hand against the cold surface. The hidden mark on his palm began to glow. A secret seam opened across the floor beside him. The ground shifted aside and revealed hidden stairs. Cold air rose from below, carrying the scent of metal and old stone. Lucian descended without turning back. The passage twisted deeper than any sect cellar. Its walls were covered in countless sword scars. Lucian touched the marks and felt traces of intent in them. Some cuts were shallow. Others had nearly split the mountain itself. By the time the passage widened, Lucian already knew this place belonged to swordsmen far beyond the sect. At the end of the passage, a vast underground hall waited in silence. It was not a treasure chamber. Broken platforms and shattered pillars filled the dark. Ancient chains hung motionless from the ceiling. Countless swords were buried across the floor. At the center stood a black stone altar. Behind it rose a sealed wall dense with sword marks. Lucian stopped at the threshold and stared. Then the pressure of the hall descended on him. He dropped to one knee before he could even breathe. The buried swords around him began to tremble. Ghostly figures appeared one after another among the blades. The first faced him without a word. Then a second formed to his side. A third took shape behind him. None of them were alive, yet all of them felt real. Lucian gripped his sword and rose under the pressure. No one explained the rules. The test began anyway. The first strike came like lightning. Lucian barely blocked in time. A second attack came from his blind side. Before he could recover, the third came from behind. He was driven backward, step after step. One near miss tore through his sleeve. Another strike nearly opened his shoulder. Every time he met force with force, he lost ground. Every time he tried to match speed with speed, he was beaten. Within moments, he had been pushed almost back to the entrance. Then Lucian saw what others would have missed. Their assault was not chaos. It was a pattern. The first pressed directly. The second attacked from blind angles. The third punished every hesitation. Lucian stopped trying to win with strength. He yielded ground on purpose. He turned half a step instead of fully retreating, and the swords buried in the hall began to hum in approval. Now he was no longer merely surviving. He was reading them. Missed his throat by inches. He redirected the next strike into another attacker. The formation faltered for the first time. Lucian stepped into the opening he had created. His counter was clean, simple, and exact. The leading phantom shattered into light. The remaining two stopped at once. Then both lowered their heads before him. The pressure in the hall finally lifted. Lucian walked toward the altar at the center. At first, the object resting there looked almost worthless. The moment he came close, it rose into the air. The sealed wall behind it trembled. One line of ancient text ignited across the stone. Only one meaning entered Lucian's mind clearly: Starfall. Then the inheritance visions flooded him all at once. The fragment flew into his palm and burned a mark into his wrist. When the light faded, the first fragment of the Starfall inheritance remained within him. Above the arena, Elder Morven had already noticed. He had seen the mark beneath Lucian's torn sleeve. A cloaked figure waited for him in the dark. "It has begun," Morven said. "Not yet," he decided. Let Lucian open the way further. Just before dawn, Lucian emerged from the hidden passage alone. He looked at the fading mark on his wrist. and knew this was only the beginning.
If you liked the video, please hit like and subscribe.